All right. First off, this is a little different. Just putting this info out there for people who aren't able to watch this or didn't know that it was a thing. And I'm sure you'll see this 1,000 times now over YouTube because some awesome information's come out. I'm just going to go through it, talk about it, my reactions, and anything that I earn off of this video getting donated to MS Society. And yeah, so um, really good information.
Role and how you took
I'll go
charge
ahead and roll it.
into the executive producer role. So tell us a little bit about what you do at the company and about today's event, and if there's any information you'd like to share with us.
Thanks for having me on. My name is Greg Hill, and I'm the executive producer at iRacing. This Peachtree 3 charity race is just such a special opportunity, and I'm really proud of the team for putting it together, all the work that went into it, and of course, all the benefit that it will bring to people through the donations and everybody's time and attention. So thanks to everybody who was a part of this. This is also an opportunity for us to engage with our customers and share some information that they might be curious.
Honestly, this is like one of the coolest parts about this event is it's a way for it's kind of like their reveal the old blogs, cat herder blogs that we used to have way back in the early or late 2000s, and you know, it's being used in a really cool way, getting people to donate, to ask questions, and I'm glad they're doing it. It's for a good cause, and then we get great information like you're about to see with the rescan of a track.
About the future of the product that they all love. So I'll provide a few little tidbits here. I don't want to let too much out of the bag, but enough to whet people's appetite for sure. We've received a lot of questions over the last few months, and especially with the release of the recent Atlanta 2022 config of whether we had plans for Indianapolis. So I'd like to announce that yes, we do. Our team has actually been, starting about 2 weeks ago when we released Atlanta, sprinting to model the 2022 version of Indianapolis using fresh laser.
All right, so let's take a look at this. I'm happy and concerned by some information. You can see the little dirt track scan there. I believe that, yeah, that's the dirt track there. So, but he doesn't mention it later when he goes through it. But they have it scanned. You can clearly tell it's scanned. Otherwise, it'd be pitch black like the golf courses. So, don't worry if it doesn't come out. Obviously, they just started on this 2 weeks ago, and they want to get it out in a month from when they started on it. That's ridiculous that they're building a 2.5 mile track with a road course and multiple configurations. I'm guessing midget only racetrack is going to be last on their mind since IndyCar and NASCAR is coming here. Plus, dirt's kind of always last on their mind. So, I mean, we're getting updates. We see this is scanned. But with it being kind of like the Chili Bowl, where it's only going to be the legends and the midgets that are using it consistently, don't get too worried about it. But he doesn't say it later on. So I just wanted to point out that it's clearly scanned there. So we will see what we get.
Current laser scan, and bring that to our customers in time for the upcoming race weekend, where both IndyCar and NASCAR will be participating in races in the same weekend. And that's just a really special event, and we wanted to make sure to be able to provide our customers the opportunity to participate virtually before watching the race play out in real life on their televisions or as a spectator. So it's been frankly a ton of work. We've had 4 different developers working on the modeling. We actually split the racetrack up into sections: the oval, half of the road course, the other half, and then of course the turn 1 or turn 12 little road course complex there. Everybody went off into their own little corner. They modeled their section, and we have the capability to merge it all together. That's something we had to develop for back when we did Nürburgring Nordschleife, as well as GP and Le Mans in the same year. So we have the technology or the software that allows us to do that. So as of today, it's all been combined together. We have people out there racing on it right now, doing the production work. So when you create a racetrack, you need to do a lot of work in addition to the actual surface. So things related to the rules and the race control, the driving lines. So we have our production team working on that now. We have our artists working on all new PBR textures that they're going to apply to it. So it will look, current day iRacing quality, which is a lot better, of course, than the previous version of Indianapolis, which came out before we had PBR shaders. So it's going to be a huge visual upgrade. It will be current, modern, and we're really excited for that.
All right, so cool, good information that we're getting that updated. Everyone's been requesting it for a long time. You didn't see the dirt track up there in the corner when they showed it all combined together. So that's why I wanted to point that out. But I'm sure we will get it eventually. I know they said they scanned it. You can clearly see that it's scanned. But right now, prioritizing the road course and that's the big thing that's coming up. So let's go ahead and go to his next reveal, which is a very unexpected feature.
Of course, we're always working on new experiences to bring to our customers, ways to add more depth to the product, to engage people to participate more, and to have, frankly, things to do outside of the actual online racing. One of the concepts we're working on now that actually, as of a couple weeks ago, is fully functional, just needs polish, is something we're calling active reset. Now what active reset is, well, here's a problem a lot of people have. Let's say you are driving at the Nürburgring Nordschleife, and you have trouble with a series of turns, and you really want to hone in on refining your line and finding the best way through those turns. But just the time commitment that it takes to do the full lap, get all the way back to that section is just too much for some of us.
Yeah, if you're like me, you wreck before you even get to the turn that you want to try again. And then you got to spend 3-4 minutes to get there if the shift R in-car thing doesn't reset you to the right point you want to be. So what they've come up with is pretty awesome. You're going to be able to do some cool stuff, and I'll just go through some ideas on it once he tells you how it works.
So it's a barrier. So what active reset will let you do is it will let you, in testing mode only, essentially target sections of the track that you want to practice, and then repeat them over and over again. So you can really dial in your approach to those sections. So what you'll do is you'll have a button mapped to your steering wheel or whatever input device you use, and you can create with a button click essentially a point in time. You click it once as you're approaching the section you want to practice. Then you go through that section, whether it be a turn or several turns, and when you get to the end, you press another button, and what will happen is you will be transported back to the original location with all of the state of your race car and the racetrack and your surroundings matching what it was when you created the initial kind of checkpoint. And you'll be able to repeat that. So you can go through it over and over and over again, and you can see your performance metrics.
I mean, this is a tool that real world racers would absolutely die for, to be able to quickly just hit this turn over and over and over, having the same tires, the same conditions. It's going to make the pro drivers able to just refine their skills, figure out a turn, do everything. I mean, this looks like a very cool interface where you can see, hey, this is the line. This is what I need to do. I mean, it's oval-wise probably not going to be that great, unless you're wanting to, hey, how am I going to hit this turn one on cold tires for a qualifying run? What's the best way through it? Rather than doing a whole lap, you hit the back stretch, it instantly teleports you back to wherever you put it on the front stretch, and then you can compare and see. Without needing extra tools of telemetry and knowing how to load that and convert that and look at it. Uh, this is amazing. This is a great tool that is, I mean, I'm going to be able to go to some of the road courses that there's a corner that I can't figure out, like he said, and I should be able to figure it out. But then, am I going to actually be able to reproduce that in the race? Probably not. But they're giving us some good tools. And, real life racers are going to love this tool too, because it's going to save them a lot of time if they're just wanting to get used to a part of a track. And yeah, it's amazing. And then we'll go over a few things that he says here at the
as
end.
you do this. So it will help you realize what approaches work better, what don't, and it will be a really valuable tool, we think, for our customers to practice, but also just for another type of activity to participate in, and thing to do. We're really excited about it, and we think that the foundation that we're planning for the foundation that we're building with this feature to lead to a more expansive set of offerings. And I won't go into too much detail on them, but it will really unlock a lot of opportunity for iRacing to try new things and offer new experiences.
All right, so what I believe just from my time around iRacing, conversations I've had with employees back in the day, knowing their thoughts and where they're going. All right, first of all, obvious thing is this is going to lead to being able to do flashbacks in single player. I mean, this is obvious. There'll just be like a 5-second constant checkpoint. And then once you want your flashback, it moves you back there, just like every other racing game has out now. That's an obvious one that's coming with this. Something that you might not know is they have wanted to do autocross for the longest time, to be able to let people drive a line and create, maybe something through an infield, maybe something through, add a chicane, do something different than the preset tracks. To me, this looks like a lot of those, when you're doing Forza Horizon and you drive your own line and it kind of creates a track, kind of the same way R Factor AI worked, NASCAR 2003 AI worked. And maybe it's going to allow us to open up some AI editing so that we can adjust the lines and kind of go back to the way it was in 2003 if they want to open that up, because it seems like their AI development team is getting very behind and not able to progress as quickly as they would like. So there's some interesting things with this that could be coming with it. I see autocross as being something, especially with like the Porsche experience at Hockenheim. You've got lots of tracks with chicanes and stuff. There's a lot of different things that I think you could do, and maybe we even get the ability to do a little track and place a little jump and take the Pro 4s out. More of that custom ability that people get in other games. maybe we get a little bit of that. So it'll be interesting to see what happens, where they go with this, but this is an amazing feature. Now, let's go ahead and go with
Producer
the
of
one everyone's
iRacing,
been
Greg
waiting for.
Hill. Greg, we've had
Now, I think all of these are pre-recorded, so we'll just go through this.
Of course, one of the biggest questions we all
So last year, during this event, they revealed rain. So he's going to go ahead and talk about all that.
always receive relates to rain. We shared a little bit, tidbits on rain over the last year. It's a huge project. We were able to get the essentials put together by early this year, late last year, where we were driving around. Our weather script was running. We're able to get the rain tied into a forecast and all the core systems operational. We've spent this year really honing in on kind of the graphical component, which is important, that it looks right. The physical component, where it's important that the car behaves correctly, and the tire in particular behaves correctly, which has been a huge project because we're not going to just implement rain kind of with half measures. Our tire is actually simulating the channels on the tread and how those channels interact with the water, with the puddling, and how the water would flow through it, how the water absorbs into the track, how the water absorbs into the off-track areas. And the kind of requirements for all the different race cars and how their tires handle these situations and creating the modeling for those. So there's been a lot of work on that. There's been a lot of work on the user experience side of it. So essentially how you, as iRacers, will create sessions with rain, how you will be able to basically lean on.
All right. I had to pause it because I knew this screenshot was coming up. Weather radar. Now, it's in the info tab. Are we going to have a F3 box that we can see while we're racing? To know how it's changing, how far away it is it dying off, is it building up? That's the question that doesn't get answered here. So people may have an advantage if they have a spotter in there with them looking at the radar. I'm sure, I don't know. I don't know if they have the ability with this current UI to take that weather radar and put it in game for you and not just at the menu here. But I was not expecting to see this. This is great. This is very cool. I'm sure that Kyle is going to have a field day going through this and looking at how weather patterns work and picking it apart since he knows everything about weather with his meteorology experience. But this is awesome. I can't really make out anything from the stream just because I don't know if there's any more information, percentages, humidity, anything like that. I can't really make it out, but uh, yeah, it's going to be interesting when they release this in a better quality so that we can kind of read some of this stuff, see what kind of new information they're putting here. Again, track looks great, sun's coming in. You know what? There should be a bit of a rainbow back over this way because there's clearly some moisture and the sun's coming from this direction. So, are we going to get some rainbows through the spray? I think that stuff doesn't really matter, but how deep are they going to go? You can see the puddling along the curb, the inside curb. You can see the outside lines a little drier as everything's kind of washing over here. And then, last year they talked about the drains that they have set up that they calculate how much water drains through this certain area. It's going to be ridiculous and hard. It's going to be a lot of effort for something that a lot of people are not going to be good at. I'm going to be terrible at it. I suck at driving in the rain down the interstate. I get scared to death when I feel a little stutter in the wheels. So, um, yeah, this is way deeper than I thought it was going to be, but that is kind of how iRacing does things. We'll continue on and listen to what else he reveals here.
Real world data, if you want, to create kind of a scientifically accurate experience based on the location, or if you want something more custom, well, we're going to give you the power to fully design it and set up your own keyframes for an entire event and create the experience that really you want. That's been a big part of it. Of course, it's a huge project. I'm hesitant to give timelines on when you guys might actually be able to experience it yourself, but we're all working hard. It's a full company project, really, and we're excited about it. We want to make sure it's right. We want to make sure we nail it, so bear with us, and we're really excited. We're excited about it.
So, awesome info. Not as much. We got a little bit of video last time, so not as much, but still the weather radar, just everything that's going into this. It seems like we're not going to be just randomly guessing at when the rain's coming, or you're still going to be, if they weather it right or model it right, because weather is weather. You don't know what the hell's going to happen sometimes. So, how will this play if you want to do an oval race? How is there going to be red flags where you can jump through time? Can you just red flag the race and end it if that's how your league wants to do it? Put the possibility out there that there's going to be rain so that we can do that type of stuff. Can we just throw wet weather tires on a oval and see what happens? They're thinking about doing that at Martinsville, or they've tested it. So we have less danger, and hell, let's go do it at a 1.5. Let's go slide around and see what the hell happens. What's it going to do on dirt surfaces? Because there's not really mud right now. So are we going to do any off-road racing where it rains and the track gets muddy and very tacky and kind of bogs you down? What's going to happen with a dry slick track? Is it going to make the inside of the track really moistured, dry slick, just impossible to drive, so that you have to wait until it dries out? Like, I don't know where they're going with it. It's going to be interesting. I just wanted to kind of give my thoughts on it, put the video out, donate the money from this video, and get your guys' thoughts on the three things that he went over, because very cool information. And if you haven't, links in the description to donate to the MS Society. And let me know your thoughts on what they revealed. Thanks for watching.